Hello, period 4. Today we are doing two things in class. We're going to start with numbers 21 through 27 on page 128 in the textbook. So you'll need to download chapter 4 text if you haven't already. Download the box page. The box page is completely blank, so you're going to have to kind of do a split screen like you see me doing right now. So pause the video, get yourself all set up so we can take some notes. Okay, on number 21, it says, I am up here at the top of the page. It says each day at lunchtime at least 53 people buy food from a food truck. Write an inequality that represents the situation. So if at least 53 people buy food, that means 53 or more. So the inequality be greater than or equal to 53. Okay. 22 through 25, tell whether the given value of a solution of the inequality. Okay, so 22, and again, I do want to see more than just yes or no because you're not going to get credit for that. So number 22, we're going to write the inequality for k less than k plus 8 when k is 3. So we're going to substitute in 3 for k. 4 times 3 is less than 3 plus 8. Substitute in 3 for both k's and solve. We have 12 on the left, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the right. Is 12 less than 11? No. Okay. Number 23. Again, write the inequality first. W divided by 3 is greater than or equal to W minus 12, and we're substituting 15 in for W. So 15 divided by 3 greater than or equal to 15 minus 12. Solve on the left. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 15 minus 12 is 3. Is 5 is greater than or equal to 3. Yes, that's true. Number 24. 7 minus 2y is greater than 3y plus 13 when y is a negative 1. 7 minus 2 times a negative 1 is greater than 3 times a negative 1 plus 13. Let's solve on both sides. This would say 7 negative 2 times a negative 1 would be a positive 2, which gives me 9 on the left. 3 times a negative 1 is negative 3 plus 13, different signs. The difference is 10, and there's more positives. 9 is greater than 10? No. There's one more. Number 25. 3/4 b minus 2 is less than or equal to 2b plus 8 when b is negative 4. So substitute in negative 4 for all of our b's. And then you'll show your solution. I'm going to cross cancel and get a negative 3 over 1, which is just negative 3 minus 2. Negative 3 minus 2, same sign, find the sum, lots of negatives, is a negative 5. Solve on the right. 2 times a negative 4 is a negative 8, plus 8 is obviously 0. Negative 5 is less than or greater than 0, that would be true. So yes, negative 4 is a solution for this inequality. Okay, hopefully those made sense. And then we got a few word problems. Number 26. A subway ride for a student costs $1.25. A monthly pass costs $35. Okay, so a ride is $1.25, or you can get a pass for $35. Okie dokie. For 26A, we are to write an inequality that represents the number of times you must ride the subway for the monthly pass to be a better deal. Okay, here's what we know. It's $1.25 per ride. Okay, so that's how we would show that. And we want it to be a better deal. Okay, so $1.25 per ride, we want it to be greater than $35. Okay, because if you continually ride this bus maybe every single day and it's $1.25 per day times the number of days, okay, you would rather pay the monthly pass for $35 if that would be cheaper. Okay, let's look at B. It says you ride the subway about 45 times per month should you buy the monthly pass. Okay, so let's substitute in 45 for the X to see if it's a better deal. If it's better to buy that monthly pass for $35. So $1.25 times 45, I've already done my work. It is $56.25. So is it better to buy that monthly pass? It is. You're going to save money if you buy that pass. Okay. And then let's look at 27, the last one. It's going to A, B, and C. Consider the inequality B is greater than -2. Describe the values that are solutions of the inequality. So B is greater than -2. So the solutions of B, meaning B is all numbers greater than -2. So -1, 0, +1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All numbers greater than -2. 27B says describe the values of B that are not solutions of the inequality. Write an inequality for these values. So not solutions, well, anything that is greater than -2. So you could put also not solutions would be, it has to be greater than -2. So not solutions, -2 would not be a solution. Okay, you can put anything else that would work for there. So -2, and then you could put -3, -4, -5. All of those are would work. They're not solutions. And then 27C, what do all the values in part A and B represent? Okay, so these are all real numbers, guys. They're all integers. We're not going to say integers, though, because remember, integers are positives and they're opposites. And B could be decimals, okay, like a -2.5 or anything like that. So we're going to put all real numbers. Okay, and then is this true for any inequality? Yes, all real numbers. Okay, so those were the word problems just to kind of get us thinking about how to write the inequalities. What we're going to do next is, I've already added my notes to this page. You will want to pull up Solving Inequalities by Adding and Subtracting. And you can add it to this page or just make a new page, pause the video, and get this pulled up, please. Okay, so the set of notes today that we need to work on, we're solving inequalities by adding or subtracting. Guys, this is the exact same thing as solving, adding, and subtracting equations, but instead of an equation, there's an inequality now, okay? The goal is always to get the variable by itself, to isolate the variable. So if we want to solve and graph y minus 6, again, we want to solve for y, we want to isolate the variable. We're going to do the inverse. If it says minus 6, we're going to add 6 on both sides. show your cancellation, bring down your y, bring down the inequality, solve on the right. Different signs, find the difference. There's more negatives. So I am going to graph y is greater than a -1. Find your -1. We're not including -1 in our answer. It's everything greater than -1, so it's going to be an open circle pointing to the right. So these are the exact same way to solve these as equations that we did last chapter, except now it's got an inequality in the middle. b minus 3 8/10, the inverse would be adding 3 8/10 to both sides. Show your cancellation, bring down the b, less than or equal to, solve on the right. We have b is less than or equal to 5.5. Find 5.5 on the number line. Since it's not there, we need to label it. It's less than or equal to, meaning we could include 5.5 in our solution, and it's all numbers less than that, so it's going to point to the left. Closed circle pointing to the left. Number 3, pay close attention right off the bat. You should see that the variables on the right side, and we said that was a no-no. We're going to solve it first, subtract 10 from both sides. Bring down your d, bring down your inequality, subtract, and then you must rewrite so that the variable, the letter, is on the left always. That will show you which way your arrow should be pointing. So d is less than or equal to 2.5. Label 2.5 on the number line. It's less than or equal to, so it's going to be a closed circle because the answer could be 2.5, and it's all numbers left, so an arrow pointing to the left. Number 4, x plus 3/4, so I'm going to subtract 3/4 from both sides. I need a common denominator. Not a 2, how about a 4? I'm going to borrow to get 3/4. X is greater than 3/4. 3/4 would be over here. I'm going to label it greater than, so it's an open circle pointing to the right. 3/4 cannot be our answer. It's everything greater than 3/4. Okay. Number 5, right off the bat, you should see that the variable's on the wrong side. We're going to have to switch it at the end. We're going to do the inverse and add 1/4 to both sides. To get that z by itself, we got different signs. We're going to find the difference. Two-fourths minus a fourth is a fourth. There's more negatives because 1/2 is larger, so it's a -1/4. And again, we need to rewrite it so the variable's on the left. Okay, so we are plotting z is less than -1/4. -1/4, you need to label it. It can't be -1/4, so it's everything to the left of that. It's an open circle because we're not including -1/4 in our answer. Okay. All right, let's do a few word problems, see if we can set up these inequalities. A standard school bus can hold 74 passengers. Okay. That's all it can hold, no more than 74. 29 passengers have already boarded. Write and solve an inequality that represents the additional number of passengers that can board the bus. This will be a one-step inequality. Let x equal, well, what are we trying to figure out? The additional number of passengers that can board the bus. So, additional number of passengers is what x is going to represent. Okay. They kind of have this spelled out for us. So 29 have already got on, plus some amount of unknown passengers that still get to board. And there's 74 passengers total, right? No more than 74 can get on. 74 can get on, but no more than that. So it needs to be less than or equal to 74 passengers. Okay, so we're going to write that down. 29 passengers are already on, plus some additional passengers needs to be less than or equal to 74. Then we can solve by subtracting 29 from both sides. Not a whole lot of room, but x is going to be less than or equal to 45 additional passengers can get on this bus. And this last one. A person can be no taller than 6.25 feet to become an astronaut. No taller than that. You can be 6.25, but no taller than. Right off the bat, you should know that this means less than or equal to 6.25 feet tall. Right now, your friend is 5 feet 9 inches tall, but he's still growing. Okay. Right, and solve an inequality that represents how much your friend can grow. Let x equal how much your friend can grow. Okay, 5 feet 9 inches, guys. 5 feet 9 inches out of 12 inches in a foot. 9/12 is 3/4 or 0.75. Agreed? So a little bit of conversions there. He's 5.7 feet right now. How much more can he grow? Has to be less than or equal to 6.25 feet, no more than that. So our inequality is 5.75 plus some more that he can grow needs to be less than or equal to 6.25. So then we can do the inverse to figure out how much more he can grow. So he can grow half a foot more in order to still be able to be an astronaut pilot. Okay. Alrighty, period 4. That is what we worked on in class today.